At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. Police officials investigating a video of an Abaco woman sexually abusing a toddler. Also, a teacher union president defends recent industrial actions. And the healthcare minister addresses healthcare affordability and NHI benefits.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Again, very disturbed over what seemed to be the actions of, we could only say, either demon-possessed or troubled in the spirit.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, a disturbing video of a young male child being sexually assaulted by an adult female is making its rounds on social media. Police officials say that they are aware of the video and are currently investigating the matter. Now, a local counselor is chiming in on the psychological effects that sexual assault can have on a young child. Shalia Roll reports.
It's a disturbing video of a woman sexually assaulting a young child. According to police, the woman was identified as a 20-year-old who sexually assaulted a young male that was just 2 years old when the video was recorded. This video making its rounds on social media, leaving the community of Abaco and the Bahamas outraged.
Community is, again, very disturbed over what seemed to be the actions of, we could only say, either demon-possessed or troubled in the spirit, to reduce yourself to not only do something like this, but then to record it and share it. We don't understand what would motivate an individual to do something like this.
According to sources, the alleged abuser is also related to the victim. Clinical consultant Dr. Andy Lang also lending his voice to the troubling situation.
A lot of times we hear about incidents like this, and it's usually the other way around. We hear about men assaulting or abusing children. We hear about men being the perpetrators of incidents like this. But here it is, we have a female doing the same thing. And it's just to point out that females can be perpetrators of child sexual abuse as well.
And here are the signs that could indicate sexual abuse in young children.
Bedwetting. The child might become withdrawn. The child might begin acting out in school or in other social settings. The child might begin enacting the sexual act that is being done to him or her. The child might experience depression, anxiety. The child might regress to earlier behaviors like bedwetting and thumb sucking.
As the matter is under active police investigation, Superintendent Stephen Roll, press liaison officer for the Northern Bahamas, urges the public to cease disseminating the disturbing video.
And once we have more information for the public, a further press statement will be released. We just want to urge the public to cease from sharing that video forthwith.
Now, police have confirmed that the young woman in the video is in police custody for questioning, and charges will be filed upon the completion of the investigation. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
Meantime, police on Grand Bahama are busy searching for Ellsworth Kristen Williams of number 67 Frobisher Drive in connection with breach of bail, threats of death, and causing damage. Williams, also known as Ellie, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighs 148 pounds, dark brown complexion, dark brown eyes, and slim built. Anyone with information can contact police at 911, Police Control Room at 350-3014 or 6, the National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430, or Crime Stoppers at 352-1919, 350-3106 or 9. Family Islanders can contact 242-300-8476. Well, it's an appeal for respect and fair treatment. President of the Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union, Sandra Major, is standing by a recent TUC-led industrial action while the Supreme Court on Tuesday evening ordered participating unions like the Bahamas Doctors Union and the Bahamas Air Traffic Controllers Union back to work. Major says TUC members comprised of doctors, teachers, and the like are not trying to bankrupt the country, but simply want their just due. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
Not a strike, but President of the Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union, Sandra Major, says the union's participation in a two-day industrial action was the result of frustration. Some members have concerns over rental assistance, outstanding confirmation since 2019, and other matters. While the union has been able to meet with labor officials, she says there tends to be little progress.
In 2023, for teachers, they gave more people. The new people coming out, they got this a little quicker, right? We appreciate that. Let's get that right. But I waited from 2020. Where's mine? I'm waiting. Where's my reclassification? My salary is $1,000. If it was changed, I could get $1,500. I want my $500. So all we're saying is, somebody has to fix it.
On those issues, Deputy Director of Education for Grand Bahama, Michelle Boleg, who says schools were negatively impacted by the industrial action, says she hopes that the matters are soon resolved in everyone's best interest. But Major is adamant that each member of the union is important.
People would say, well, why would teachers why would all the teachers fail and cause the children to suffer? What about the teacher? My question to the whole country is, what about the teacher? Our salaries aren't that great that they could just stay home or decide we're going to stop working because we don't need a salary. Our salaries are not that great. So teachers are important. And when we work, we expect to be paid.
The union leader says educators face a myriad of challenges in the classroom daily, from a lack of materials, but often go above and beyond to get the job done. So their collective bargaining agreement should be adhered to. For 2 days, teachers and administrators in Bekwoo stayed home in solidarity with the umbrella union, the Trade Union Congress. That union's president, Obi Ferguson, has faced a heap of criticism over his call for a national strike, but Major says she is grateful.
As an affiliate of the TUC, I'm appreciative of Mr. Obi Ferguson for what he has done for us, because without his assistance, we would not have made it this far.
Her members are now back on the job and students are back in the classroom. At the end of the day, Major says the union is not against government, but just wants to ensure its members get what they are entitled to. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Thanks, Cleo. Well, the industrial action led by the Trade Union Congress, TUC, has come to an end today, following a court injunction ordering union members to return to work. The Director of Labor is tonight expressing surprise at the strike, which disrupted key sectors across the country. Despite recent meetings and ongoing dialogue with union leaders, questions remain about what prompted the sudden move. More details in this report.
I do think that it was unnecessary at this point. As you can see, a number of other union presidents would have publicly stated that they won't take part in this demonstration.
The Director of Labor, Howard Thompson, says he was taken by surprise when union leaders participated in industrial action that left several sectors in Grand Bahama and across the country short-staffed.
Today, because the reality is issues are being addressed, issues are being resolved. Some issues resolve very, very quickly, and some takes time. You know, all issues can be resolved. It takes proper dialogue, patience, and ongoing open dialogue.
According to Thompson, the government has maintained regular dialogue with union leaders through quarterly meetings, during which members' concerns were addressed. He notes that none of the issues raised in those meetings suggested the need for a strike.
None of those issues was at a level where I thought was so critical that an impending industrial action would have been taking place.
Thompson reveals that the most recent meeting between government officials and union leaders took place just weeks ago, ending on what he describes as a positive note. The question remains, what led to the strike despite ongoing dialogue and seemingly cooperative discussions?
I think the bulk of them, if I'm not talking out of turn, are indeed fiscal matters, but a number of them are really non-fiscal matters, and those ones are relatively easy to resolve. And I think the parties are well on their way to resolving those issues. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of all of the issues that, I guess, the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm still trying to pinpoint which issue is that particular straw.
While acknowledging that union members may have valid grievances, he questions the timing of the industrial action, expressing his belief that it was not the most appropriate course of action given the circumstances.
It's never a good time to engage in what I would call at this point an illegal industrial action. As a director of labor, in particular with ILO standards, there needs to be continuous open social dialogue. And as far as I'm concerned, there's always been open, proper dialogue. And some issues were resolved, are being resolved, and the ones that are difficult, they will be resolved. It's just a matter of patience and time and ensuring that parties always come back to the table to discuss.
Switching gears now, access to health care remains a pressing concern for many Bahamians. The Minister of Health and Wellness says the government is partnering with private sectors, providers, and investing in new facilities to ensure citizens receive top-tier medical services, particularly through the National Health Insurance Program. More details in this report.
We have to stop classifying healthcare into private and public. Healthcare is one living organism.
For many Bahamians, healthcare provided by the private sector is considered top tier compared to services available in the public healthcare system. However, financial constraints often limit access to private care. Recognizing this, the government is working to bridge the gap by integrating private sector medical professionals into the national framework, ensuring that every Bahamian has access to quality healthcare regardless of their financial status.
It is our responsibility as healthcare providers to interface with the private sector. I believe we're starting to do that now, and I'm in communication with Doctors Hospital. I'm building a facility here. Doctors Hospital is building a facility. It's great for the people of Grand Bahama. How are they going to access the services? NHI is one of those components where it can be done.
The National Health Insurance NHI program, first introduced in January 2016, was designed to provide universal access to affordable, high-quality health care. Minister of Health, Dr. Michael Darville, emphasizing that the initiative aims to empower all citizens to access private health care services if they choose.
And that's the reason why we're working so diligently to improve the public health care system so that our patients do not migrate completely to the private sector. But where we're going, Bahamians will have choices. And it is our responsibility in the Ministry of Health and Wellness to ensure that our public facilities are well kept.
Additionally, the government is prioritizing the training of medical professionals in the public healthcare system to enhance the patient experience. According to the health minister, these efforts are crucial to ensuring that healthcare services across the country meet world-class standards.
To ensure that our experiences, or the experiences of the patients, is paramount. They need to feel loved. They need to feel as if they are wanted in the facility and they want to be taken care of. I believe we can do it, and we're changing the way how we provide services in the public health care facilities across the country, not only Grand Bahama and Nassau, but throughout the archipelago.
And still to come.
A disabled man appeals for help. That story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, return.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Central Grand Bahama, make the right choice. Vote Precious Prosper and Marco Carey JP for local government. Make the right choice. Hashtag Team Central GB. Vote Precious Prosper and Marco Carey JP.
Welcome to the new era of home improvement. Third Dimension is back and better than ever. Discover our latest products and services designed to transform your space. From innovative designs to cutting-edge technology, we've got it all. Your dream space is just a call away. Our team is here and ready to serve you, making your experience better than ever. Visit us today on Yellow Pine Street and see why Third Dimension is your go-to for all things home improvement.
Ever heard of variety? At Hair Depot Plus, we have hair, skin, home appliances, body care, garden tools, and cleaning supplies. We are located in the LMR Mall. WhatsApp us at 808-5316. Now, that is what I call variety.
Hi, I'm Pastor Frank Hagan from the School of Prophetic Ministry with a special invitation for you to attend the gathering.
Grand Bahama. It's time to gather for the gathering. The School of the Prophetic Ministry presents The Gathering, celebrating 10 years of Apostolic Prophetic Release on Grand Bahama with a dynamic Holy Ghost-filled conference beginning Wednesday, January 22nd to Friday, January 24th, 7:30 nightly. Day sessions Thursday and Friday at 12 noon. Come and hear from Prophet Eric Bourne Copeland from San Antonio, Texas, Apostle Rick Bethel from Belle Glades, Florida, conference host and speaker Apostle Christopher Russell and Pastor Anna Russell, all the way from Christian Tabernacle, Nassau. And oh yes, come and get your praise on with the Anointed Christian Tabernacle praise team led by Minister Eunice Roll. Grand Bahama, it's time to gather for the gathering, January 22nd to the 24th. Come and receive your miracle from God.
One time. More power, double.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. It's a story you will only hear on ZNS. 21-year-old Ezekiel Miller is making the most of life without fingers or legs. As an amputee and survivor of a bacterial infection, this young man is determined to live a life that, though abnormal, is still full of striving and gratitude. In an exclusive interview with Jolanda Thompson Everest, he opens up about what happened to him that led to this current situation.
Ezekiel Miller's life is forever altered after stepping on a nail. While still in primary school, he was walking home from school when he unknowingly contracted bacteria from the wound. The infection spread throughout his body, eventually leading to the amputation of his fingers and legs.
I need help.
At just 21 years old, Ezekiel Miller is now navigating life in the big leagues. In this reflective piece, he wants to set the record straight about his condition and what truly happened. He takes us back to the moment that changed his life, sharing that while walking along a dirt road with his brother and sister at such a tender age, he stepped on a nail but continued home, unaware of the injury. Though he felt no pain, it wasn't until his mother noticed his foot was bleeding heavily that he realized something was seriously wrong.
She see the blood, and she wrapped it, and next day going to school. Then after that, I was walking on it. Still young, walking. Then after when we see the foot swell, we go to the hospital.
Due to severe swelling, Ezekiel explained that the doctors told him and his mother it was too late to fix the wound.
Did it because it was too swell. See, the pus is coming out, so couldn't do nothing with it. And the bones start breaking, so couldn't do nothing.
At just 14, Ezekiel had his first leg amputated. Then at 19, the bacteria continued to spread, leading to the amputation of his second leg. But the bacteria didn't stop there. It moved upward, eventually affecting his hands, which resulted in the loss of his fingers. Despite enduring so much, Ezekiel persevered, remaining simply grateful for life.
I thank the Lord every day. See, everything they need to do, you know. Also, be on my grind.
Although unemployed, Ezekiel continues to strive, doing his best every day to sit on corners and gather as much financial assistance as he can. When asked about his motivation to keep fighting each day, here's what he had to say.
God first all the time. And God put me, gotta worry about what you gotta do, take care of me and all that. As far as people don't focus on me, see. Maybe be happy, but sometimes be sad too with it. I can't do this and do that, but I just try.
Ezekiel expresses his gratitude to those who have generously helped, but emphasizes that he still needs more support. He's asking those who may not be able to contribute financially to consider donating clothes, lotion, daily essentials, or even offering a haircut. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
And finally, in news tonight, the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated marking its 117th Founders' Day on Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. To honor this monumental occasion, the Pi Upsilon Mega Chapter in Grand Bahama has planned a sophisticated jazz brunch open to the public, celebrating the sorority's legacy of service and sisterhood. The jazz brunch will take place on Sunday, January 26th, 2025 at 1 p.m. at the Pavilion Grand Lucayan. This elegant event is open to the community and will feature live jazz music, delicious cuisine, and an opportunity to celebrate the rich history and purpose of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Funds raised will support the sorority's initiatives aimed at advancing educational opportunities for women and girls. Additionally, the Pi Upsilon Omega chapter is proud to highlight the transformative impact of the 20 Pearls program here in Freeport. This signature program has been instrumental in fostering education and empowerment for the next generation, aligning with the sorority's mission to uplift communities through scholastic achievement and service. Sasha Roll, president of Pi Upsilon Omega chapter, says, as we celebrate 117 years of sisterhood and service, we are reminded of our ongoing commitment to making a meaningful difference in the lives of women, girls, and our broader community. Well, that's a look at stories making news. Jay Philippe is up next with sports, but first, here's a check on weather.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Cause it's so beautiful.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at zns3news@gmail.com.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate.
Your Crepe has so much to offer. From delicious, savory, and sweet crepes, coffee drinks and bubble teas, to rich, creamy milkshakes, and so much more. We are located on West Mall Drive, Freeport, Grand Bahama, and coming soon to Plaza del Sol, Prince Charles Drive, Nassau, Bahamas. Shape your crepe, handcrafted crepes and more. Call us at 68-SHAPE.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. First in sports, high school basketball regular season tipped off this week over at St. George's High School Gymnasium. In the opening game, Jack Hayward Wildcats came from behind to take down 8 Mad Rock Blue Jays 39-33 behind Stefano Knowles, who was a high point scorer.
I felt we did pretty decent. I felt that we could have done better. We have some learning to do. We just listening to the coaches from now on. And as the season continues, I hope we'll get better and hopefully progress and do better than last year. The coach told us to stay calm, do what we were taught, and to also be patient that the game would also come to us.
In the feature game, St. George's High Senior Boys defeated Tabernacle Falcons 43-42 to win the President's Cup. Isaiah Turtle Roker went off for 25 points in the victory. Dylan Morris had a team at 16 points in the loss for the Falcons. Switching gears now in sports, Fast Track Club is scheduled to compete in the U.S. this weekend in Gainesville, Florida at the RAD Sports College Invitational.
A small group up there. They compete at the indoor track meet. There's a college section and a youth section. It affords the kids a good opportunity to see good exposure from the different universities and to sharpen up before we hit Nassau for the next big meet, which is Star Trackers.
I'm going to be competing in the triple jump, high jump, and 60 meters. And I've been working hard from the summer break, so I have some very high expectations for me, especially because it's the beginning of the season. So I expect to just do good and try my best and trust in my training and trust in God most of all.
Running the 60 and 200, and training has been going good. I really been working hard to see results in the future. Gainesville, I expect a PR. I expect to most definitely do better than I did last year, and that's one of the main goals, and to come first.
And finally in sports, Grand Bahamian College football standout Prince Strawn is taking his talents to the University of Southern California after competing his sophomore year at Boise State. With the Broncos, Strawn had 37 career catches for 578 yards and 3 total touchdowns. And that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Get in, get out, equip yourself for the future. Pine Yard Technical Center is preparing the next generation for tomorrow. Sign up today for long-term or short-term classes. Strike a spark today, ignite a flame tomorrow. Torch handling, fire watch, plate and pipe welding. Sign up today.
Hi, I'm Pastor Frank Hagan from the School of Prophetic Ministry with a special invitation for you to attend the gathering.
Grand Bahama. It's time to gather for the gathering. The School of the Prophetic Ministry presents The Gathering, celebrating 10 years of apostolic prophetic release on Grand Bahama with a dynamic Holy Ghost-filled conference beginning Wednesday, January 22nd to Friday, January 24th, 7:30 nightly. Day sessions Thursday and Friday at 12 noon. Come and hear from Prophet Eric Bourne Copeland from San Antonio, Texas, Apostle Rick Bethel from Belle Glades, Florida, conference host and speaker Apostle Christopher Russell and Pastor Anna Russell, all the way from Christian Tabernacle, Nassau. And oh yes, come and get your praise on with the Anointed Christian Tabernacle praise team led by Minister Eunice Roll. Grand Bahama, it's time to gather for the gathering, January 22nd to the 24th. Come and receive your miracle from God.
One time. More power, double.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight, coming your way next.
parliamentary session. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, how big a financial hit did industrial action have on the country? Both the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Economics weigh in on the impact. Also, the government presses brakes on the organ transplant program. Hear what's behind the delay. And legislators seek divine intervention ahead of new parliamentary session. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. This week's mass illegal strike certainly leaving stakeholders concerned. Tonight, we have the Prime Minister weighing in, calling it a disappointing move. And this, as the government reaffirms its commitment to work things out. Devontae Hanna takes it from here.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis mincing no words on this week's illegal protest staged by the Trade Union Congress, standing firm on his opinion that the action was unnecessary.
I'm still trying to understand what motivated the action. Thank God the impact that I thought it would have wasn't there.
According to reports, air traffic control and some public schools were impacted, but seemingly taking the hardest blow from the sick-out was the Public Hospital Authority. Executives lament 98% of doctors in the Bahamas Doctors Union failed to report to work over Monday and Tuesday. It's a statistic Prime Minister Davis is calling disappointing.
Here we are talking with professionals, doctors, who have not only a duty to the employees, that's the government, and yes, if there are issues with the government, they have the right to take industrial action, but in the context of their duty to their patients.
An injunction filed in the Supreme Court Tuesday now brings the issue to a halt, making it mandatory for union members to return to work. The Minister of Labor and Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, also left saddened by the union's actions, but says it won't dampen the government's enthusiasm to quash labor woes.
The door remains open. We want to resolve the issues. We've never said that we don't want to. Some issues are a little more complex than others, but we would love to have them come back to the table, those that are affected, and definitely continue the conversations.
Prime Minister Davis echoing the same, but also encouraging Trade Union Congress President Obi Ferguson to meet with him, which he says he has been attempting to do for weeks.
What I understand from my office was that when they called him on the Monday to determine which of the unions were going to bring to the meeting, he indicated that he couldn't make it because he was in court.
Now, the TUC's decision to protest all stems from that 2021 signing of a memorandum of understanding promising a workers' agreement with the then opposition, the Progressive Liberal Party. And now, as they are in government, the Minister of Labor and Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, says that it has nearly been fulfilled. Makushla.
Well, thanks, Devontae. Now, that injunction handed down from the court yesterday, bringing a halt to the work stoppage that saw many workers affiliated with the Trade Union Congress stay off their jobs for the past 2 days. Today, Economic Affairs Minister Senator the Honorable Michael Alquita said this action's fiscal impact is still being assessed, and he dismissed suggestions the government had been stonewalling workers.
Prepared to address the issues. Some of them take a little while long, and we just request patience. The government is willing to address them.
Well, meantime, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investment and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, weighing in on that major strike action taken during the peak holiday season. While figures are still not in on the financial cost of the work stoppage there, the impact is being viewed as quite significant for Bahamas Air.
Any disruption at Bahamas Air has a significant impact on the airline and the economy. On every flight that is canceled, there are residents and guests who are disadvantaged, who are stuck perhaps in a foreign country or in an island where they had checked out of a hotel,
all of this cost need to be paid, absorbed by somebody, notwithstanding the sheer inconvenience and the reputational damage on Bahamas Air. Bahamas Air is our national carrier, and it's a company that's dependent on subventions, meaning the taxpayers. So every dollar that Bahamas Air must spend unnecessarily comes from the taxpayers' pockets.
In terms of the way forward, the aviation minister says the airline is plagued with legacy issues and devising a plan for its future remains a key focus.
This is an entity that's suffered financially for decades. We have a strategic plan. We're looking at possibilities of capital injection into the airline. And I believe once we are able to achieve some of these strategic objectives in the medium term, all will be well. Bahamas Air is still our national carrier, and wherever we are and we see Bahamas Air arrive, we welcome it with pride.
In other news tonight, the Economic Affairs Minister 8 years ago famously defended the then PLP administration's use of the value-added tax amid growing public dissatisfaction. And now the minister is defending the Davis administration's recent decision to lower VAT on non-cooked food items sold in grocery stores. Effective April 1st, the cost of VAT on these items will drop by points from its present 10% to 5%. It's expected the reduction will cost the government about $30 million by its own projections. But talking about it today, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis seemed confident its impact on the country's fiscal projections will be almost negligible.
We are doing a much better job in pursuing large taxpayers who have not been fulfilling their full obligation. We've had a lot of success with that. And so through growth in the economy, better administration, those who can afford to pay and have things outstanding, we can pay for it. We recently passed the domestic minimum top-up tax bill, which we expect to start to impact our budget next year. And so all of that, technical people have advised us that it would not negatively impact our fiscal position, and it's something that we can do quite easily and accommodate.
Coming up, the latest on Sarkis Ismailian's legal standoff. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this month, please.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking.
This one? Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Crunch your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large size. Bucket meals starting at just $20. KFC, finger licking good.
Whether you're crossing borders or navigating busy airports, with BTC's reliable data roaming, you're always in touch. In a fast-paced world, staying connected is key. Don't miss important moments. Stay connected effortlessly with BTC, wherever your journey takes you.
So we helped bring some magic to the Aubrey Sale Primary School. We were able to visit with Mickey Mouse, bring some gifts, and just celebrate the magic of Disney in the community today, here in Nassau.
We were in a Disney sort of mood. It was such a great joy to see their faces light up and to hold those toys in their hands, knowing that I've got a piece of Disney in my hand. It was just awesome.
Disney coming to Eleuthera, coming to Nassau and Abaco. I'm so proud of Disney Cruise Line and the work Disney is doing, especially in the classroom and the schools in the Bahamas.
has been an amazing day for me.
This is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
Well, you're looking at a shot of the six-legged roundabout open to the public back on August 30th, 2010. Welcome back to the Bahamas tonight. Across the world, the HMPV virus drawing attention as fears as a severe flu surface. But as our Lloyd Allen shares, a number of factors are at play that every household should know. Lloyd?
Now, by definition, the human metapneumovirus, better known as HMPV flu strain, is relatively new, first identified in 2001. Experts now peg the upper respiratory infection as a global concern. The World Health Organization warns, like COVID-19, this virus comes with a cocktail of symptoms, including congestion, persistent coughing, runny nose, and possibly hospitalization. However, the group most at risk, the very young and the old. Termed high risk, children 5 and under, the elderly, those with varying levels of immunosuppression, or patients living with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD. Medical officials are now watching the annual quademic, now on the rise in the East. For example, HMPV cases in China, while considered normal for this time of year, have led to new cases in a number of countries, including India. But where does the Bahamas lie in this?
The HMPV is just one of the respiratory illnesses that exist, cause some challenges.
Acting Director at the Department of Public Health, Dr. Philip Swan, assures poor health habits are among contributing factors, as well as exposure to an infected person's environment.
Persons with compromised immune systems, who are those who are taking steroids long term, for example, those who have asthma, those who are cancer, HIV, uncontrolled diabetes. These are individuals who are at more risk than others. Of course, those who are obese, because again, the ability to respond appropriately to chest infections or lung infections are slightly compromised.
Dr. Swan shares on the numbers.
HMPV is not something that we have received any positive tests for in recent times. It's something that exists, and we have tested in the past, but we have not received any reports of any positive cases. Influenza virus is something also that's circulating. It's having again, there's different forms of it. We can have it in parts of the U.S., and that's why we're keeping a close eye on it. But again, persons are staying home or being impacted with signs and symptoms of it.
For patients, educators, and others, the advice is to take every precaution.
Respiratory etiquette is what we continue to advance. If you have a cough and a cold, if you're sneezing and you're coughing, just the crook of your elbow, or use a tissue and discard that tissue. Handkerchiefs are no longer something that you should be using except for decorations and style. If you have a runny nose and a cough again, wear a mask.
Now, Makusha, Dr. Swan says, while there has been talk of a more severe flu, the key now and always is to lock in prevention protocols to protect yourself and others. Makusha?
Well, Lloyd, some pretty good advice there for a lot of people who probably are suffering flu-like symptoms at this time of the year. Well, a lot of today's shocks in healthcare, an indication of a tsunami that's to come. An airy prediction Health Minister Dr. the Honorable Michael Darville himself made in the process, acknowledging that officials must now get down to business to prevent this catastrophic event. According to the minister, that plan includes training for healthcare workers and purchasing more affordable drugs and supplies. All well and good, but what is there for those stricken with catastrophic illnesses like cancer? The minister admits this is a challenge not simply for the Bahamas, but for the developing world.
And the cost of chemotherapy and cancer drugs are extremely high. We are, through National Health Insurance, through catastrophic interventions and providing the necessary basic package, will ensure that oncology services are incorporated in the essential package associated with National Health Insurance. That is the direction we're heading in. And I want the Bahamian people to know that by way of National Health Insurance and with the full implementation of our basic package, every citizen in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas will become a private patient. That's where we're going. And we're mandated to meet that journey by the Pan American Health Organization by the year 2030.
As Dr. Darville further explains, this requires finding a new funding mechanism that does not tie into the public purse. Rather, everyone will contribute money that will be used to provide essential services. Now, the minister, whose comments came during his appearance last evening on the ZNS Daily Show, The Rundown, also at the time acknowledged that the National Organ Transplant Program, initially slated to begin before the end of 2023, is at a standstill. And this for cases for multiple reasons.
One of the challenges we have is when we looked at the program, most of the insurance companies like to do organ transplant in centers of excellence. And so as we're preparing our staff for the transplant, we are moving closer towards it, but it requires more training. And the reality of the organ transplant program is that with the amount of dialysis patients we currently have in the country, the demand is now extremely high, and we are in discussions with local experts as well as international partners to activate the program that may start initially out of the country and eventually migrate back into the country.
Those entrusted to lead the country this morning, making good on a long-standing tradition to seek divine guidance, faith, and wisdom as they set out on another year of governance. But in taking on that weighty responsibility, they were admonished to lead with compassion, serve with conviction, and build a nation reflecting the highest ideals of justice, integrity, and progress. Carla Palmer takes it from here.
The annual parliamentary church service provided another opportunity for lawmakers to worship together and seek divine guidance at the start of another year. But as Anglican Bishop of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands, the Right Reverend Leish Boyd puts it in his sermon, parliamentarians need to improve their overall level of performance as elected officials.
Is there bad behavior among you? Irresponsibility, slackness, a self-serving approach, and even complacency? Unfortunately, in my view, there is a little bit of that. And so there is always a call to do better. I encourage you, try to aim higher, because the lower stuff is bad for the institution called representative democracy.
Having been reminded to conduct themselves accordingly, Bishop Boyd challenged the members of both houses of Parliament to respect one another and work in unison to the greater good of all.
In my view, there is too much time spent battling and not enough time collaborating on broader national urgencies and priorities. I cannot tell you how to do your job, because I'm in another field. But I can speak from my heart as someone whom you represent and encourage you always to try to raise the bar, to be your better self, and to pursue what is noblest and what is best.
Bishop Boyd literally instructed parliamentarians to take a moment to reflect on the message and what God was saying to them in that moment. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Sarkis Ismailian and his BML properties have made a move to request the Bahamas Supreme Court to put China Construction America and China State Construction Engineering Corporation into liquidation for failure to pay the $1.6 billion awarded. However, Ismailian says Bahamians need not fear, as employees of the British Colonial and Margaritaville Beach Resort should note that their livelihoods will be safe, and that's even if he succeeds in persuading the courts to appoint liquidators for the parent company of these hotels, which acted as contractor for the Bahama project. BML is reportedly asking the court to appoint Simon Towson and Gene Green Thompson of KPMG Bahamas and James Neal of KPMG Ireland as the official liquidators. Ismailian, the original developer of Bahama, is seeking seizure and control of these hotels, which represent the two most significant assets owned by CCA and its subsidiaries. The Chinese state-owned contractor has filed its own appeal in the New York Supreme Court against the $1.6 billion judgment. Well, we can also tell you tonight that the country's preparedness and resiliency against cyber threats and potential attacks are being examined this week as a 3-day cybersecurity conference hosted by the National Computer Incident Response Team got underway this morning. Corval Pyfrom has that story.
The country has come a long way in 3 years when the inaugural cybersecurity conference was held. Significant strides have been taken to lessen the country's vulnerabilities from increasing cyber threats, and Economics Minister Senator Michael Alkitis admits that staying ahead is sometimes a challenge.
We have taken significant steps to protect ourselves in terms of establishing the Computer Incident Response Team, the CIRT, and developing the National Cyber Strategy, and as well fostering these relationships with the regional partners.
The minister is quick to point out why, for a conference focused on building shared cyber resilience, the voices of many stakeholders is necessary.
This is an opportunity for experts to share, developments, what they see happening in terms of digital threats, hacking, etc., and even adapt our systems beforehand to better insulate us from those attacks.
These sessions also allow the Bahamas to not only showcase its leadership in this field, but its commitment to enhancing regional resilience. And industry experts say the country cannot afford to take its standing in the region for granted.
Honestly, we're at the maximum point. When it's a new point where we decide to say, you know what, it's time to take action, I think it's right now. It was yesterday, actually.
Olivia Dorset with Cloud Curie believes that with cyber threats on the rise, this event is crucial to the fight.
This is a critical time for the nation. The amount of cyber threats that are coming at governments, big enterprises, and keeping data sovereign is really crucial. And these topics, the things that we're going to cover today, I think it's perfect for this audience.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Well, stay with us. On the Beat is after the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Hello?
You guys had anything to eat us yet? Y'all know Christmas just gone and it's the rock.
All right, but y'all let me working all day, but what we gonna eat?
If we was by the mall, we could go by Wendy's and get the Dave's special for $5.
Yeah, but you do know that the Dave's deal is now actually nationwide, right?
Wait, let's go. Cable Beach right there.
Let's go.
All right.
At Shell, we say refresh, refuel, rejoice. This Christmas, every $20 fuel up earns you a ticket to over $25,000 in joyful giveaways. Refresh your holiday mood with lavish hotel vouchers, exclusive spa treatments, and high-end shopping vouchers. Fuel up and submit your receipt by WhatsApp to 422-0271 for a chance to win with Shell. Drive to Shell. Fuel up and enter to win your share of $25,000 in giveaways for a December to remember. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, big drops in electricity prices for businesses. In this week's Consumer Choice Report, our Desmond Saunders tells us that entrepreneurs, once irritable over escalating energy costs, are now feeling the effects of BPL's new rate structure.
Several small and medium-sized enterprises now seeing a dip in their electricity costs thanks to the government's recently implemented energy new rate structure. Chief Executive Officer of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce Employers Confederation, Dr. Leo Rowe, believes the new structure was long overdue.
We've also heard from our members that light bills and energy costs have gone down tremendously. Now, we know that that is in part because we're out of the summer months, and so it's much cooler. Persons are not inclined to use air conditioning more, but also with the reduction in rates, we note that energy costs have continuously gone down over the past few months.
The new energy reforms by the Davis administration has created a new climate, giving businesses a wide array of alternative energy sources while further reducing energy costs.
They will then look at your business, your place of your establishment, and look at those areas where you're doing well. And so they help you to refine those, and then those areas where you can use some improvement. And so that energy audit is very robust. It encompasses all of the areas, as simple or as granular as panes or cracks in your windows that can cause air conditioning to leak out. Looking at some of the older appliances, giving you recommendations for those appliances that may be energy efficient and where you can source them.
And while some businesses cannot afford an energy audit, Roll outlined several tips businesses can use to stabilize and reduce energy costs.
If you have a water heater but no shower, then turn it off. Having your appliances on a surge protector where it can be turned off at the night, because we have what we call ghost thieves. And what that is appliances or computers or anything that has what we call a power saving mechanism, but there's still energy being generated. And so turning those off in the evening. An air condition that is not ideal for the space that you're using, then it has to work too hard.
Now, many hope BPL's new structure continues for a long time. More importantly, officials hope BPL's new measures can spark a global revolution for a new climate, cleaner energy, and a bright future. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Well, it's about that time that is, to check in with LaDawn and again Desmond for a sneak peek of Access Now. Guys, what's coming up?
Well, Crystal, I hope you have your dancing shoes, because the Boatman concert featuring KB and Friends is coming up. Desmond, I know you're excited because you love to dance, right?
Yeah, the excitement is building. Commercials are all over, playing all over the radio. I'm excited about it.
I want to see when Crystal bust a move, though.
We have a ball and a concert. Okay. Stay with us. Our feature story is up next.
Experience the difference with BTC's fixed services. Whether you're working from home or enjoying family time, BTC ensures you're always in touch with the people and moments that count. BTC isn't just a service, it's a lifestyle. Stay connected, stay inspired, and live your best life. BTC.
What you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one-topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, VAT included, boy.
I need the $10 special plate.
How many of them would you like?
20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. The Marcos got that deal, boy.
Bahamas, are you ready? 2025! Keep the vibe alive, music to present. KB. Why you don't know me yet? KB and Friends. The Boatman Show.
All you rake and scrape lovers out there, Saturday, February 1st, Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group invites you out to enjoy some Bahamian culture with KB and Friends in concert, The Boatman Show.
Saturday, February 1st at the Farm, Marshall Road.
Can't wait to see you there.
The legendary KB and Friends. Gino D. Colin McDonald. Irish Store in the Spank Band. The Falcons, Ancient Man, Mama D. Shine 242 and more.
KB and Friends in concert at the Farm, Marshall Road, Saturday, February 1st.
Tickets on sale at the Beauty Shack. Low location, General 50, VIP 80. And for the Platinum fans, Bahamas. Exclusive skyboxes are available. Gates open at 7 p.m. For more info, call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Let's keep the vibe alive.
Well, there's a new song hitting Bay. It's Jerry Delancey's salute to new Police Commissioner Shanton Olds, who was serenaded during her tour yesterday of the downtown store market. And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access.